just want one more chance at the bracket. I mean, I haven't even gotten close. Like, not even, like, I'm doing the AL and the AL wildcard on radio, and I've confused myself so much. So I apologize to America. Go look it up on the internet. No score here.
I think America is enjoying as much as Russia.
Go look it up on the internet. So he just told everybody. I don't know.
I stink. Sorry. Herman Marquez going back to work. Muncy Machado Grandal. 3 fielders to the right side. Big swing from Max Muncy. David Ross, you talked about this guy at the plate, and he probably would sit in an extended series against a lefty, but you like the quality of the at-bat.
Man, I love this guy's approach. He seems to have a quality at-bat, sees a lot of pitches, and just has a plan. I talked to him a little bit in Arizona when he came up with a big hit for them, and he seems to have a plan of taking away what that pitcher does best and how he game plans against himself. If I was a hitter in today's game, I'd go to our guy. I'd go to our scouting report guy that made up the scouting report and hitting and be like, hey, I'll be back in an hour. Give me how you'd get me out. I think that's what Max Muncy does. How would you best get me out?
Wow, got past Wolters, and Muncy will be safe at first. So it'll be a strikeout, and we'll see how they score it.
I'm saying Tony got crossed up here. It ended up being a 98-mile-an-hour fastball. And take a look at this, David. I think he thought he put down changeup, and probably the reason he's going back out there. Watch how he sets up here. Look at how he spreads out like it's going to be something slow. That's the last thing in the world a catcher wants, right? If you go the other way, if you put down a heater and he throws something soft, you got a chance. You have no chance there.
Well, you can see in his setup that he was getting ready to block that pitch. I'm not sure if they're using multiple signs with nobody on because they're paranoid about who might be looking in at what signs or cameras in today's game with technology, but you could definitely tell. You're right, Sut. It's a lot easier to call fastball and adjust to off speed, but if you call off speed and they throw you a heater up, you're not going to get to that pitch. He almost got to it as athletic as he is.
I mean, you could break your hand there, right?
Yeah, oh yeah. Or you miss one that catches the umpire in the face or you in the face. I mean, a lot of bad things can happen. 98 miles an hour, 95 miles an hour coming at you.
Dodgers leadoff man on. Big swing from Machado. Real quick, I want you to say the thing you just were mentioning about hitters utilizing the information.
Well, there's so much information now for pitchers. I don't know why, as a hitter, you wouldn't walk up to the guy who puts together your scouting report with all the numbers and be like, hey, I'm going to go grab a bite to eat. I want you to tell me when I get back how you would get me out so I can actually game plan against that pitcher that day.
Yeah, right. It makes sense.
The hitters should be using the same information that the pitchers are using.
Yeah, I would say that, TrackMan is the device that everybody has access to that talks about or that shows all the data for the pitching. What you just said, I think, is what J.D. Martinez and more guys are doing in terms of utilizing the data as hitters to help them tackle the pitchers.
No doubt. I mean, it's pretty blatant, and even if you're in the at-bat and see a pitcher pitching you a certain way, it might trigger something for you where it's like, wait a minute, okay, my guys went over this for me. I'm hitting, a $130 on sliders away with 2 strikes, and all of a sudden the team starts throwing me sliders every time with 2 strikes. Maybe my third at bat I sit on that pitch. That's the game within the game that these guys are playing at such a high level.
Man at first. There's no score. We're in the bottom half of inning number 4. The NL West tiebreaker. John Sciambi, David Ross, and Rick Sutcliffe. Dodgers in the playoffs for the 6th straight year, trying to make it 6 straight division titles. For the Rockies, they have never won a division title. The previous 4 times, always in via the wild card. And that one is foul. I give you one other note that I found bizarre. Ross, I dropped this on you, but Sut, I mean, you grew up in the Dodgers system. So this is 6 straight years in the playoffs for the Dodgers. They had never been more than 2 straight years in the history of the franchise before this run. Now digest that. I'm talking about the Brooklyn Dodgers. I'm talking about the Dodgers in the 70s. Had never been more than 2 straight years before this run.
I don't want to take anything away from that, but I mean, there was a period of time when there were 10 teams in your league.
Fair enough.
A lot of things have changed with 5 teams in a division and the wild cards and all the things that lead into that. But in no way am I going to take anything away from what they've done here. And, you know, Dave Roberts came over here and made a lot of great things happen. They've gotten a little further each year. He knows they're expected to take that final step this season.
Yeah, got to win that World Series. Haven't done that yet.
Just sitting here watching this at bat with Machado, I mean, this is what Andrew Friedman was thinking when he gave up a lot of his minor league system to bring this man in. This is the spot we need him. These are the type of pitchers that we need to have somebody that can do some damage off of. And you just, if you're a Dodger fan, you just have a lot of confidence right now.
He's got a lot of slug on the breaking pitches. Be aware of that if he catches one in the zone. Good numbers on off speed in the zone.
Marquez looking in at Wolters. German Marquez, a native of Venezuela, just 23 years old. Time called, and Wolters will go out to the mound. They'll have a chat. Marquez, a guy who was originally signed by the Rays in 2011 and came over here in January of 2016 to the Rockies. All right, so here we go. Try and follow along. The runner-up of our game will go on the road to play the Chicago Cubs. That's in the National League wildcard game. It's presented by Hankook Tire. It's also on ESPN Radio. You can tune in to ESPN tomorrow at 8 Eastern. Baseball's next generation chases October's crown. And I still screwed it up. I still couldn't say runner-up. Can we do that later again? No score. We're in inning number 4. Manny Machado with a count 2-2. This is a big pitch right here, fellas. Wow. Machado swings through that. Big strikeout.
Big fastball. I mean, he pretty much emptied the tank, that being Marquez right there. He came in, he softened up, he elevated, tried to go corner to corner. I mean, that's just when both of these managers, we ask them the first question about their starting pitcher for today. The word both of them used was stuff. Just plus stuff. Not only the high velocity on that heater, but their secondary pitches have continued to get better as the year has progressed.
Well, I think that might have been what that meeting was about. Marquez called him out. Wolters probably wanted either breaking ball, where he wants the breaking ball. We talk about those numbers sometimes. Hey, I want you to bounce a breaking ball. Marquez like, no, I want to go heater up. Those are the conversations that you have in the middle of not getting together, getting on the same page, I should say.
Muncy at first. And Grandal swinging through that one. See 3 fielders to the right side. That goes Story, LeMahieu, and Desmond, with Arenado, who's basically a shortstop, playing that left side.
I was going to say, it still seems like they've got 2 defenders on the left side of second base with the Range, Nolan, Arenado.
And I mean, you got LeMahieu, who's won a Gold Glove, and they really like to talk about how good Story is defensively too. Check swing, he went. It's a strike. Here we go, K-zone 3D. Oh, yeah.
What do you call it? Just got a little bit of that block of cheese?
Got a piece of the block of cheese.
Top corner of the cheese.
Mid-afternoon cheese board. 3D K-zone. Sut doesn't get it. I don't understand. Who doesn't
get it?
cheese?
I just think it's dumb.
I think you need some cheese to go with that wine you got going on your bracket.
Oh, man. Breaking ball. Good stop by Wolters. And Grandal is gone on strikes. That's 7 for German Marquez.
Well, that's 3 strikeouts this inning with a man on first. There's that back foot breaking ball after you speed him up with that good stuff. This back foot break ball. Tony Wolters again doing a great job. Watch how fast he pounces on this ball. Almost a great dirt ball read. Muncy took a big lead there at first base. Almost got it, but Wolters does a great job keeping that in front. That ball just disappeared on Grandal around his back foot.
Yeah, Marquez got to have the confidence to throw any pitch. He gets Grandal there. Great block by Wolters behind the plate. 13 swings and misses for German Marquez. Now, the other thing they talked about, we've shown you the athleticism behind the plate of Wolters, but he's able to, they say, stick that pitch. So really good stuff. It's hard to keep your hand right there.
Yeah, we've got two of the best receivers for me in the game right now with Grandal and Wolters. Both these guys really dominate the baseball and control the baseball when it enters the zone.
High drive, right field. Gonzalez back. Gonzalez at the wall. Gonzalez will watch it go. Bellinger, two-run homer off a 95-mile-an-hour heater, and the Dodgers out front. It's 2-0.
We talk about how this feels like playoff baseball, and in playoff baseball, the little details matter. Whether it's crossing up on a strike 3 pitch and a guy getting on base that shouldn't be on base. 3 strikeouts coming into this at bat. Cody Bellinger makes him pay on the fastball, jumping on that thing, and does not miss this thing. Stud, he's all over this 2-seam fastball, coming back to the middle of the plate, right down the middle, ready to hit. Good swings at last at bat, and he stands it up knowing he got all of that one.
You know, and I tell you what, kind of surprised that he was in the lineup, because before this game started, he was 1 for 15 off of Marquez, 1 for 16 after he made an out in his first at bat in the second inning. That has to feel really good for not only him, but the fans here.
Cody Bellinger, number 25, and the Dodgers strike first. Puig comes up empty. This is a Dodger team, the only team in the majors that hit more homers than LA, the New York Yankees, and the Yankees set a major league record. Led the NL in home runs and home run frequency, however you want to slice it up. So here in the bottom of the 4th, yeah, shocker, a home run factors into a big game in 2018, a Dodger game.
You know, you had to figure if somebody was going to get him, it'd be.
Puig hits it hard. Dahl has it kicked past him. That'll roll to the fence. Puig towards second, and he is fired up.
If somebody was going to take him deep, you had to figure it would be a left-handed hitter. Left-handers hit 100 points higher than right-handers did. And before I got it out, Yasiel Puig says, I've got something for you too. Take a look at the numbers here against Colorado. He hit almost 440 with 5 home runs and 12 RBIs this year. He has feasted off of his pitching. I mean, a nice effort there on the part of Dahl. The ball was just hit so hard, might have knuckled. He made an angle to try to get to the ball with 2 outs. It really doesn't hurt you as much as it would if there were nobody out.
You know, there's no facts behind this. I got no numbers to base it off of, but when I watch the games here late in September, Yasiel Puig's hitting the ball as hard as anybody in the game. The ball is exploding off his bat. You saw right there a typical base hit that David Dahl thought, oh my goodness, this ball's hit so hard it might hang up long enough for me to catch it.
Yasiel Puig's September numbers have been phenomenal. They've intentionally walked Kike Hernandez. But Puig has helped fuel the Dodgers in September. Not so much the batting average, but the slug, the OPS, and 8 homers in the month. Been one of the better guys in the National League. So a 2-run homer, and now the pitcher hits with 2 outs. And that slider, Buehler over the top. Guys, it feels like more sliders than curves today, or am I wrong about that?
No, I totally agree with you. I think a lot of it might have to do with some of the right-handed hitters. You got Turner, Machado, you got Puig, you got Kike, and you got Buehler. I just think that slider, he feels like, is more effective than the curveball with the guy on the right side. You're exactly right, David. That pass ball, wild pitch, whatever you want to call it. Without that, he would have struck out the side.
Yeah.
No damage done.
Little details in games like this matter so much.
I mean, I think we got to use the word Not wild pitch or pass ball, the crossover.
Yeah.
I mean, he
definitely.
crossed them up.
With nobody on, which boggles my mind a little bit, but definitely has made it a game changer here.
And we both know that has to be on the pitcher. You know what you put down, and they've not had a problem all day with the exception of that one pitch. Marquez made the mistake.
25th pitch of the inning.
Don't give catchers too much credit. We're not real smart back there. At least I wasn't.
Well, I remember asking you why.
I might have forgot.
I remember why you said, you told me you wore the card, the arm, the secret arm card that Wolters has on his wrist. You said, because I forget stuff.
A lot.
Check swing. He went too far. It is strikeout number 8, and the 4th in the inning.